Hello everyone, welcome to Redline Collectibles. Today's short video is just a quick review of wheels. I've had some conversations recently with a buddy about tires and how you can tell the original versus the reproduction tires. All of the red lines you see in front of you, the Redline castings, are all original tires. I'm going to show you something that we have sort of done over the years, but I just did it. I didn't even think about how I could maybe make this into an interesting topic for you to also incorporate when you're looking at the originality of a particular Redline tire. So one of the things that really makes sense, and you can eyeball it pretty quickly, I'll get my light centered here, is a reproduction tire versus an original tire. How do you know the difference besides the obvious? You know, the shine and the consistency of the tire Redline. That's really what I want to make the crux of this video about. And that is if you spin the tire, and I just took this Mercedes and slapped a couple of reproduction tires. Do you see the big large fatty in the back? And then I put a small in the front. But I wanted to show you the different sizes and the different characteristics of them. But one of the main things, as long as you're looking at this one, is take your Redline and spin the tire and watch the red. Just watch the red around the tire as it's spinning. See how it's consistent? It's not what I use the term wobbling. See how that is consistent as it's spinning around? It's pretty much the same distance around the tire. Now look at, as compared to that, these are all reproduction. It doesn't wobble. All about the same distance from the edge. And let's look at and compare that to the original tire. This would be a Woody large. See how it wobbles? Are you seeing that? If you maybe slow down the camera speed, you'll see the tire sort of like it's got different distance from the Redline to the outer side of the tire. And therefore it wobbles. The line actually wobbles. See, that's kind of crazy. Same thing with this one here. See how that red line sort of wobbles around? It's not consistent. This one's a really good example right here. Watch how that red line wobbles. Again, original, reproduction. Now, let's look at these comparisons. So I've got a medium over here, the reproduction medium, and the original medium. Let's take a look. So reproduction is going to be really consistent red line around the edge of the tire and very shiny, very chromy, mimicking a Hong Kong finish, whereas an original is not going to be consistent as far as the edge distance of the red line and the edge of the tire. See that right there in particular? See the difference in just a real little bit of that red line distance to the outside of the tire makes it wobble. The other thing I want to show you is if you take a reproduction and original and flip them upside down, look at the distance. Look how open this little ridge is all the way around where my fingernail is, right? This fingernail right here. See that? See that? How wide that is? Compare that to an original. Reproduction, original. And you notice something else on there? What are you seeing? Yep, the number. Mattel, in their wisdom, was able to identify the tires as original So you can visually see it with the number and the ridge, if you will, that canyon of width. Very wide on reproduction, very narrow on original. The other thing I want to show you is on a cap. It's sort of the same thing. Let's do these large caps. This is a reproduction, very shiny. Look at the line, very consistent red line, you know, around the edge of the tire. On the inside, nothing to really show, just black plastic, versus the original. And lo and behold, there are the numbers. Yep. So you'll see numbers on the cap. You will not see numbers on the reproduction cap. And then the width and distance of the red line itself. Original, reproduction. Okay. Then just the last one, well, the smalls. The smalls are pretty obvious too. These are, this is a reproduction, and I've got two different kinds. I've got a reproduction, and then I have a original deep dish. The deep dish, of course, you don't see the extension of the plastic silver coming up, whereas you do on this reproduction. A reproduction, original. This is almost like a bubble gum. Just have a little piece of plastic missing out of there too, by the way. Reproduction, original. This is a deep dish, and then this is a regular. There is a regular red line, all original. Again, that red line, very, very faint, and also it's going to wobble. It's going to wobble along the way. So I'm going to put those there, reproduction on top. And then the last but not least, really kind of, this is really funky. I see a lot of this going on. And that is the large reproductions, the deep dish, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's way, way deep. That's a reproduction. This is one style. This is another style reproduction, not deep dish. The other thing about these, with the consistency of the red line, etc., they're very difficult. You see the big deep, the Grand Canyon of width on those. Is the they don't fit well on the bearings for red lines. Here's an original. Look how thick. Look how much distance there is between the center hub and the outside versus the original. And then this is the original tire. Reproduction over here. Reproduction, original. Both reproduction, different styles. Oops. Original, reproduction. Again, look at that red line. See how inconsistent that is? This is going to wobble. Look at that. Versus a reproduction that's all the same. All stamped out, wham, bam, original. Man, what a cool hobby. And I'm telling you what, you just learn something new every single day with red lines. And today I just wanted to go over how an original wheel wobbles. The red line, kind of funky looking thing as it's going down the track if you look at it. And I just thought I'd give that an opportunity one more time to kind of look at that, how the red line kind of doinks up and down all around. And you will not find that with a reproduction. A reproduction red line is going to be the same all the way around. So hope this little video was helpful to you. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing the channel. We have much more for you. I just learned today that another box is going to be coming in, And I'm so grateful for our consignments. If you have extra cars, extra Redlines that you'd like to have me run for you, I'd be happy to do that. And this is just a small sampling what's happening on Tuesday for our Tuesday sale, the 2nd, actually tomorrow, the 2nd of September, starting at 6 p.m. Central. These wobblers, these wobblers will be up for sale for you. Look at these, all original. Any hoots. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your Labor Day and enjoy that cookout in the backyard. Bye, everyone.